Have you heard that Florida homeowner insurance policies have gone cray-cray? Our policies are continuing to rise, and there's new approvals for new assessments like every day in the news. That is if you're lucky enough to have your insurance company not drop you. Hi, I'm Stephanie Lankowski, and I sell residential real estate in Destin, Florida for Taylor Allen Properties. We've just finished our spring break here in Okaloosa County, and it was a little bit colder than what I would have really liked it to be. But this past weekend, it was so perfect. The sun was out. It was hot enough to get out on the boat, pull the kids behind the tube, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little sun-kissed today, and I'm loving it. I absolutely love living in Florida. I love living in Destin. But today I'm going to tackle a topic that's a little bit negative for homeowners, and that is the Florida homeowners insurance policy crisis. Property insurance. What's the big deal in Florida? Well, it really comes down to the bottom line. In Florida, you're going to pay almost twice as much for your policy as you would in any other state. It's super frustrating, but here are the facts. So Florida has like an insurance company for insurance companies. It's called the Florida Insurance Guarantee Association. And this association has in recent months levied assessments on all Florida homeowner insurance policyholders. And they are trying to recoup $190 million from 3 insurance agencies that failed to pay. So probably now you're wondering, why are these insurance agencies not paying? Why are they failing? Well, there are about 3 main reasons. And the first, you can imagine, most of Florida's 21.5 million residents live pretty much in coastal areas and natural disasters. Florida has more than any other state insurance claims for natural disasters. So the crisis really began back in 04 and 05 with insurance agencies. We had a couple of major hurricanes come through the state of Florida, and the amount of claims just skyrocketed, and it really put a lot of stress on the financial health of several agencies. One of those major insurance agencies was State Farm. And State Farm, after these 2 years of just really having financial stress, said, they announced, we're going to be drawing back our operation in Florida and not covering quite as many policies. And that kind of started the tide of major insurance companies reducing what they're doing in the state of Florida. So with the mass exodus of the larger insurance agencies, Floridians were left with really very few options. We now have the Citizen State Insurance that is probably what everyone calls a last resort. And we have riskier policies operated by smaller hedge funds who typically charge a little bit more, a higher premium, so that they can have better capital to payout risk ratio, and they can get that all elusive Florida insurance rating that I'll tell you about in a little bit. All right, so another reason that Florida policies are so high, the premiums are running skyrocketing through the roof, is because of a set of laws that were established over 10 years ago, and this is called the Assignment of Benefits. This law was established really to benefit the policy owner and be a protection for us. However, it's taken a sad turn and has in fact become a bit of a racket for contractors and lawyers. Here's why. So with assignment of benefits, a third party, a contractor, can come in and negotiate on the behalf of the policyholder directly with the insurance agent for a claim, right? So what we're seeing a lot of is, like, for a while, it was like a couple times a week, someone would knock on the door and say, hey, we're here to check out your roof. We're gonna give you a free roof inspection, and I bet you have storm damage that you're not aware of on your roof, and it's gonna cost you nothing. If we find damage on your roof, we're gonna go and we're gonna talk to your insurance agency on your behalf, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Well, unbeknownst to a lot of us that are just riding along in life, hey, well, that sounds like a pretty good deal. But unfortunately, what's happening is these contractors are coming in and they are charging oftentimes triple the cost and charging our insurance what it should be. So our claims in Florida are just through the roof because of this law and the lawsuits that have then come out of that. Lawyers are benefiting as well. So it's been really hard to change the tide in our policies away from this assignment of benefits law. So the last reason that we're seeing our Florida homeowner premiums for our insurance policies skyrocketing through the roof is because we're a super risky state. Like, no insurance agency is surviving with between our natural disasters and the set of laws that Florida have in place that are really damaging our insurance industry under the guise of protecting us. And I believe that our governor is working on that. And basically, they financially cannot sustain anymore. Most of our major insurance agencies are actually reporting massive losses annually each year. The Florida insurance crisis is not going to be resolved tomorrow. This is going to be something that takes time. It's going to have to go through our state government. Both sides are going to have to agree on how to make this right. So strap in those seatbelts. It's going to be a little bit of a journey, but here's a few tips that you can use as a new home buyer in the state of Florida or someone who's taking out a new policy. So the first thing that you can do is just be aware that the state of Florida is in an insurance crisis, and give yourself a little more time to research the agencies that you are getting quotes from and look at some of their financial history over the last couple of years of paying out claims. Another thing you can do is use the Florida Insurance Rating System. There are several independent agencies that evaluate the financial ability of insurance agencies in Florida to be able to pay out their claims. Go and use this system as a judgment basis for whether or not you're going to trust this company in the case of your crisis. And knowing the statistics that the Florida homeowner policies and premiums are about twice as much as other states, and that annually you're gonna see an increase in your premium, just go ahead and add that to your budget as a new home purchaser. I want you to recognize that, if you're buying at the top of your budget and then the next year your insurance goes up, which is escrowed, it goes up by 11%, 20%. Even some companies are saying they are increasing by 40%. You need to be able to add that amount to your budget. Overall, it's not adding a huge amount to your monthly payment, but it's just something to consider and play with those numbers on those mortgage calculators. And the last and final thing that I would suggest is to be aware of those racketing schemes when someone comes and knocks on the door and sells you something that's a little too good to be true. Take it for what it is and use your integrity and judgment on that call. So overall, it's negative, it's bad news. Insurance agencies in Florida are in crisis, and thus our premiums are going through the roof. They are increasing. But all of those increases have to be approved by a board. They're not for just any old reason. And so I would say just be aware of your budget and remember that Florida is a great place to live. We still have so many people flocking to this area regardless of that insurance bottom line. Thanks for watching this video. Jen and I post a new one every Thursday, and here's one from our YouTube channel that might be just for you.